For a moment, I was questioning whether this was Tyler Perry's worst movie, but then I thought, well, he does have witness protection, and that farewell play wasn't good either. And he got a couple other movies that ain't that good either. So maybe this not his worst work, but still, it ain't good. And then it's like, due to the backlash I get sometimes for my opinion on Tyler Perry's work because of his stands, I tried to be more open-minded and looking at it just for just a simple laugh. With everything going on in the world, this gonna be a laugh because it's Madea. But I started out like that, maybe the first 15 minutes, but the further we got into the movie, I just was so ready for it to be over. This might have been the first time I just was so ready. Well, I ain't gonna say this was the first time, but this is the first time I actually noticed myself just so ready for a Madea movie for to be over with. Because back in the day, I used to be a big Madea fan. Like, Tyler Perry's work with that was very entertaining and it made me laugh a lot. And I used to watch it over and over and over. But in recent years, I would still get like, oh, okay, a Madea movie coming out. This time I didn't have that same excitement. And even after I watched the trailer, I was like, I don't think it's gonna be all that, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna be some laughs there, you know. But I've had a few chuckles, but Tyler, I don't know no more. We start out the movie with Madea, Joe, and Brown, and of course these are like the three funniest characters in the franchise. Yet I don't feel the same when I see these characters anymore. And we start off with this, of course, this bit with Mr. Brown acting crazy as usual. Mr. Brown basically whole body on fire, but somehow only the back of his clothes got burnt up. Okay, I'm gonna let you have it. Then we get into these new characters, and I had this question the last time: why does Cora always have two new daughters? And we never seen who Cora baby daddy was for her to have all these different daughters, because y'all know, like, she had Tina, she had Lisa, she had Brenda. I'm pretty sure it was some more. And now you got whoever Janae character was. Y'all know Janae off the game. I never caught her name up in the movie. And her sister Sylvia? No, her sister Ellie. So we got Janae and Ellie in this movie. And it's like, Cora done had a lot of daughters, but the main ones we probably remember is the ones from Madea Family Reunion, the play and the movie, and Diary of a Mad Black Woman, the play. So I understand not having a follow up on Diary of a Mad Black Woman, the play, but I would rather see Tyler revisit some old characters from the past. Like, the Family Reunion movie is one of Tyler's most notable movies. That's when the girl threw the grits and the girl was like, "You let him come in and rape me." You let him come in and rape her. Like, can we get a follow up on them? Well, you know, like, them weren't Cora daughters. Okay, I got confused for a second. Them weren't Cora daughters. That was the other woman daughters. But y'all know, Cora daughters was the girl off the Family Reunion plays. That was Tina and Lisa. Why we can't get a follow up on that? Like, why does Cora always have two new daughters? And somebody said that she had a son one time too. I don't know about that, but But it's still like, where this baby daddy at? And it's, I'm really, I don't like how Tyler has never elevated Cora's style. We are now in 2022. How come you still dressing Cora in this dated style? Her hair, her outfits. And Tamela, man, be looking good in real life. How come you can't? I understand she's playing a role, but it's still like you could give her a new wig or something. Like, you got her in this old lady style. Apparently she get it on because she got kids. So why do you still got her in this dated look? Honestly, I wouldn't have minded even seeing Mr. Brown style. Of course, that's what he's known for, those colorful pieces that don't match. But I still would have liked to see maybe a more modern looking version. But I'm going to still let Mr. Brown pass because he's kind of old fashioned. And it's like Madea hair looked good. Her wig looked good. And I even liked Joe's tracksuit. But all these other characters, yeah, even though I was wrong about the family reunion, I don't know if I'm not dragging this too long. Even though I was wrong about them girls being Cora's daughters, still I feel like he could revisit some of the older characters throughout the years because it's many, many, many of them, and it's like you keep introducing new people who ain't serving no type of, the storyline you give them don't even be good like that. So I would rather see some older characters come back when your work was better than all these new people that don't nobody care about. So we got this dude who is Cora's grandson. So he is, Cora's, babe, I can't keep up with all this. Cora grandson, so I guess that's Madea great grandson. His name Davi, and it's set up like he's with no, it ain't not. The dude name is Tim, and he's with this guy named Davi, and we're assuming that they're together. But come to find out, they not together. Tyler Perry just made it set it up like that, but we gonna get into that a little more later. And we had these jokes where Joe being a pervert is always, and I kind of feel like it's more to comedy than just basic jokes like that and fart jokes and all that type of stuff. Like it's more to comedy than doing stuff like that. I feel like it's really easy and quick to do. But that's why maybe you should hire some writers, Tyler Perry. But, you don't really listen to your critics like that. So, and it ain't a thing that I feel like Tyler Perry is capable of coming out with better work. But at this point, he just got so much money to do, just don't care. Like, so... And it's like I really was mad when I was done watching this movie because it's like I couldn't even get through the end part where Madea had the little Coachella part. I didn't even watch that part because I was so ready for the movie to be done. And then it's like, why is this movie even called The Madea Homecoming, which was supposed to be in relations to Beyonce's Homecoming because of Coachella? But this movie is not centered around that. This movie really just felt like a bunch of skits stuck together and you slapped the name on it, having it look like it's going to be something and it wasn't that. And I'm not saying that the movie had to be solely based upon that, but it's like, why even name it that? And I just feel like Tyler Perry and your other movies like Boo and Boo 2, I can maybe speak for the first Boo. You was dealing with kids on a college campus. So if you wanted to have a Madea Homecoming, which is kind of related to what Beyonce did, how come you didn't have a concept where you went back to a college setting and maybe Madea is, I don't know, she doing something at the college. I'm not finna give Tyler Perry no good ideas because but I'm just saying, how come you didn't do something in relation to that when you obviously can? But whatever. But Janae's friend Sylvia helped her with this divorce, and of course, this is the storyline from I Could Do Battle All By Myself, when we had the sister Vianne and you had Mei Lee. Mei Lee got with Vianne's husband when they was done getting divorced. So in this one, he set it up as her friend helped her get a divorce, but her friend was actually with this man, and she didn't fight for her how she should have, of course, because she was dealing with the guy. But that comes out later. But still, I feel like Tyler Perry didn't do a lot with that storyline because that's something kind of heavy, and he really didn't do a lot with it. So it almost was an unnecessary storyline. But still, I guess Janae didn't really care like that because she was messing with Dobby for 2 years. And I like, what is this movie really about? Is my question. And it's like, Tyler Perry, you're capable of putting out so much great content. And I ain't even saying by you. You capable of it because you have all this money. You're capable of it. You could even find a lot of other writers and just produce their work. We don't need Tyler Perry's this, Tyler Perry's that. Because a lot of times nowadays you don't put a lot of effort into what you write. You write something real quick and you think we supposed to praise you just because you wrote it real quick. It ain't really it ain't nothing that'll make a person be like, you know what? That was a really good movie. The story, it was just, you know what? Even with Acrimony, people didn't like that movie. But I could tell Tyler Perry tried with that movie because it had more depth to it. It actually had a plot. What was the plot in this movie? And then I'm looking at my notes. It ain't even worth me going one by one with it. Like I said, this movie is if you want to just have if this type of humor is humorous to you and you don't really care about storyline and all that, then this movie is great for you. But somebody like me, I didn't enjoy it, and I'm not gonna lie, like I did. I didn't. I really tried, but I didn't. And he actually threw in a Diary of a Mad Black Woman reference. I thought he was gonna actually show the clip where he chainsawed the couch in half. That actually would have been better than this movie. Seeing that little part. But also, Tyler Perry must smoke weed for real because that's a lot of what the jokes was based around. Him, Madea smoking weed, and of course Brown. It's like Brown did the same bit in some of the other plays or movies or whatever where he would get some candy out of Medea's purse and the candy end up being edibles. It's like, baby, we done seen it before. Like, that's how I feel about it. So it's not really entertaining like maybe it was the first time. Cause it's like, it seemed like you would know that those are edibles now, Brown. And then it's like, Brown himself, it's like, you've been acting like this all these years. I ain't saying, I just feel like you could be doing something so much better with these characters. I understand Brown is mainly comic relief because he's crazy, kind of oblivious to things. He's very lighthearted, like. But for some reason in that movie, it just didn't work for me. And it's like, I really wanted to touch on this. If my memory serves me correct, back in the day when we had anything with Madea probably was on screen, let's say, let's say she would pop in every other scene, just about. It wasn't no Madea the whole time. So it has me thinking, like, because watching Madea in this movie, I didn't really laugh at all. Of course, it was plenty jokes, but for me, the jokes fell flat, and it just wasn't really funny to me. So it's like, I kind of feel like back in the day, when you seen Madea, you was wanting more of Madea, because Madea was hardly on the screen. Like, she would be there for a good amount of time, but this is how he had it set up to where the story mainly was centered around what was really going on, the plot, the meat to the story. That's mainly what it was centered around. And then Madea would come in with the comic relief. So it's like, yeah, I want some more Madea, even with Brown. So it's like, if I'm seeing these characters of this character, like the whole movie, just about, it's not making me really want more. I actually wanted less Madea. Like, if I'm being real, I really wanted less, because I wanted to get back to the story, even though it hardly was a story. And the story that was there, it still wasn't really, it wasn't nothing for you, make you really care about it. Tim came out as gay. They even ended that plot line very quickly. So that doesn't really leave you with anything to talk about. What ended up happening was Janae and Davi got together. And that was a twist that I wasn't expecting. But it wasn't enough, Tyler. It wasn't enough. And still, it just, dude, Tim was mad at his mom and his friend for a minute, then they back cool. Okay, now what? Like, and it was just a lot of filler in this movie. Most of the scenes was filler. Then it's like you even had Bam in this movie. Yet, I still found myself like, can we get to the next part? And it's like, when I seen this movie had an hour and 47 minutes, I'm like, Tyler, you didn't have to drag this movie out the way you did. The movie would have actually been better if it was shorter, because by you dragging it out, it just makes me like, I'll never see myself watching this again, because it wasn't good. It was filler. It wasn't even funny. Like, and I don't care what y'all Tyler Perry fans say. I ain't saying he a horrible man. I ain't saying that he not a good writer and all this and that. This right here was just pure crap. I don't care what y'all say. And I don't care if y'all be like, you know, I'm supposed to watch for entertainment. You ain't gotta critique it like that. I critique it any way I want to on my channel. And it's like, I'm saying this because y'all Tyler Perry fans, I know how y'all was the last time when I reviewed his play, and even with the House of Pain reviews. This the same stuff he's done on House of Pain. Just dragging this storyline out. This whole, but that was a House of Pain. But it's like you dragging out this dialogue, and for what? Even the transitions was very sitcom-like in how it was shot. Like it was a sitcom. This isn't Meet the Browns. This isn't House of Pain. This isn't Assisted Living. This is supposed to be Tyler Perry's Medea's Homecoming. So, Tyler Perry, it's like you getting worse. You got all this money. You got this studio, and you getting worse. You doing this every time. And it's like, certain stuff was an improvement, because when they was eating in that restaurant, I was one of the people who was looking to see what the background people actually eating, because in the Fall for Grace, y'all remember the background people weren't even eating. And then it's like you got this, I didn't even catch that they was eating that Red Lobster, but it's like when the waiter came with the food, they started clapping. Ooh, that food look good. And how the camera panned directly to the food. So I'm like, okay, this is an ad for somebody. Come to find out, it was an ad for Red Lobster. And it's a thing called product placement. I feel like it could have been done a little bit better than how Tyler did it. Like, you know what? Let me get back to this movie, because we could be here all night critiquing everything wrong with this movie. It's just how I feel about it all together, because it's the movie really worth talking about. So, Tyler Perry even tried to tackle his political stances, like with the girl Ellie being a cop. You had her and Joe going back and forth on, I guess, their stance on police issues and stuff. But every time Joe says something, she's gonna counter it because she's a cop. But that just let me know right there that Tyler Perry has came out and spoken on how his stance on the police, and he loves them basically and all that. So, but it's just the fact that Tyler Perry, you're not the person to be talking about major political issues, because you do it poorly. You do it very poorly. So, you talking about that and the boy with the gay storyline, you should have let somebody else wrote that. And I really just felt like the girl was just wasting her breath trying to talk to Joe, because when has Joe ever changed his stance on anything? Joe is an old fool who stuck in his ways, so she was pretty much just wasting her breath. And of course, and I'm cool for nostalgia. That used to be one of all our favorite moments when Madea pulled out that gun. But when she pulled it out, I didn't really feel nothing. Like, it was a little whack, you know. And then it was like a little delay for a second, and then Brown started screaming and running. And I'm like, Brown, all these years you know Madea, you gotta be used to that. Cut it out before you get a whooping. Cut it out. But I could go deeper talk about the baby daddy and Sylvia, but it's like Janae ain't even care, so shoot. She didn't care about it at all, so why should I? And Tim and Sylvia getting married. Yeah, that's gonna be her problem now. But Janae basically said that she gonna go to somebody and get her in trouble. And we always also have that part of the Madea movie where Tyler Perry, Madea gives us this lesson. One of his most notable lessons was in Madea Goes to Jail stage play, when he was giving a lesson about letting people go. In this movie, it was mainly about red flags, like how she was ignoring the signs, and God sometimes will give you an acorn, but you looking for a whole tree or whatever, which is true. But I don't feel like the lesson went on long enough, and still, it's like, I kind of wish he would do it differently, because when he does it, it's like he's talking to the character, and the character is always acting oblivious to everything, and then he has to get his talk, but it just I don't know. It wasn't deep enough. It wasn't long enough. It it ain't moved me. Maybe it moved y'all. Maybe it didn't move me because I basically be saying the same thing. How people need to stop ignoring red flags and whatnot. But if y'all enjoyed it this good, we had a Rosa Parks bit. It was alright, I guess. I don't know. I kind of feel like that was dragged out too. If y'all enjoyed it this good, this good. But gonna find out Janae and Davi been messing around for 2 years and dude ain't know, whatever. Janae initially turned down his proposal and whatever. Filler. Let's fast forward to the valedictorian speech. Tim gave a valedictorian speech, and nothing about this speech. Well, he ripped up his original speech, but nothing about what he said gave me valedictorian. And I'm not saying that they speak a certain type of way, but I just feel like if you was trying to really tell us something, I feel like if you're the valedictorian, I still kind of feel like you would be a little bit more profound. His speech wasn't profound at all. He just was talking about his mama and Davi and whatever else. And it just was whack. Like, you been in school all this time and this what your speech ended up being. I ain't even gonna go too deep on that, but I just he don't even give me vibes like he got a 4.0. I say he got a 3.1 at best. Like, he don't give me 4.0 vibes, but not with this speech. Overall, the script was just weak. Janae, she's a really good actress. So to see her have to try to work with the crap she had to read, more power to her. The whole script was weak. You got these unnecessary characters. You got, did y'all enjoy, I don't even catch their names, Davi's relatives, the white dude in drag and his cousin who's the white woman. I felt like it was unnecessary. I thought by Tyler Perry adding another man in a wig, I actually thought that was supposed to make it funnier. For me personally, I wasn't interested in from jump. I don't know if it's because I'm just maturing more, so this type of stuff doesn't really entertain me like that, but still, I'm thinking this person really finna, you got another dude in drag, I'm thinking they're finna provide a lot of laughs because they're basically playing a caricature, but I didn't get not one laugh off that person. I think the knickers bit was funny the first time, but after that I was cool. Like, y'all ain't have to drag it like that. I didn't see the point. And then a piece of me was like, Madea kind of be short with everybody, but Madea really took a liking to this person. Maybe because they one in the same. Tyler Perry, you just like dressing up as Madea at this point. So this just give you an excuse to do it. Now you got somebody to do it with you. Next. I just didn't feel like they really served the purpose. Like I said, I didn't even like the Madea family funeral movie, but shoot, I would have rather seen them characters back than all these new people, because they was new too. But you adding new people every time you do something, and that's fine, I guess. But I could see that more so with movies like Acrimony, Fall from Grace, like movies where he actually be trying. Anything Madea related, I don't know that he be trying or not. And then I did think later on, maybe he set the the Beyonce homecoming thing off at the end. Maybe he did it like that because at the end of his plays, he would always have like a singing number. So maybe he just thought to do it differently like that, which is actually cool. But I still just I don't see it fit for to call the whole movie that when that was just a little piece at the end. So all in all, that was my review on Medea's Homecoming. As you heard, I didn't really enjoy it. But it is what it is. I'm not gonna. Everybody entitled to their opinion. Like I had mine, y'all can have y'all's. If y'all enjoyed it, that's great. But me personally, I just feel like Tyler Perry could do better. And it's like when you hear the name Madea, it's like it sparks something inside you. Because you think it's going to be funny. And that's a character you grew up on. All that type of stuff. But times clearly ain't the same no more. That's all I'm going to say. Times ain't the same no more. Like, maybe I outgrew the character. I don't know. But I just feel like it could be better. And I just feel like Tyler Perry, for you to have all these characters, you got Madea, you got Joe, you got Bam, you got Brown. I'm shocked you had Hattie in there too, but you had these 4 characters who are known for being funny, and it still wasn't giving me nothing. So a piece of me questioned, should you have not had all them characters? Because they didn't really bring anything. You didn't really do nothing with them. Even the scene with Bam, I'm thinking she finna save the movie. But the scene when she was sitting on the couch with the guys, it was dragged out too long. Joe, he was okay at first, but he started doing too much. Brown, he just there. And Madea, he's Madea. So, I don't know. Let me know what you all think. I don't want to drag this out too much longer, but let me know what you all think about the movie. Did you all enjoy it? Do you agree on some of my stances? You don't have to 100% agree with me. But do you agree with some of the stuff I'm speaking on? Do you just enjoy it for what it is because you know Tyler Perry gonna come with some BS? I don't know. But let me know your thoughts on everything below. If you got it this far, I greatly appreciate you. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you for watching.